Good morning. My name is Robin Fritz, and welcome to Coffee and Cosmos with Robin. Again, my name is Robin Fritz. I'm an intuitive and spiritual consultant and certified past life regression specialist based in Seattle, Washington. And today I want to talk about how we can look at our energy boundaries, why weak energy boundaries affect us, mind, body, and spirit, to give you a few tips on how to deal with that in the upcoming holiday season, and to share a really scary but true life story on how energy boundaries really do affect us and what we can do about it. So again, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. So I am so thrilled to be here as a member of the Om Times Experts community and as a host of the Om Times radio show, The Practical Intuitive Mind, Body, Spirit for the Real World. It airs Mondays at 2 Pacific Time, 5 Eastern Time, and today, again, I want to talk with you about energy boundaries, how important they are, how I kind of learned that lesson in a scary way, but fascinating way. And I would like to start our session today with a quick guided meditation with the Crystal Fallon to get you balanced and grounded and centered with us today, and to just give you a good boost of energy for your holiday season. And we'll also do a crystal of the week, and then I'll tell you about some upcoming things I have to share with you. So here is Fallon, the citrine Lemurian quartz. And imagine as you're connecting with Fallon and you're clearing out your whole energy body that you are just rapidly connecting with him based on, sorry, I'm checking my thing here, connecting with him based on how your energy works, right? And how your intuition works. So keep an eye on that, and we'll talk about how you feel, and feel free to chime in on what you're experiencing. So usually you'll experience Fallon however your intuition works most strongly, seeing, hearing, feeling, or knowing. So just relax into it and take this boost of healing energy as our weekly gift to you. So as you take your attention to the top of your head, just take a deep breath and breathe in all healthy energy, mind, body, and spirit. And as you breathe down your body from the top of your head, down your face, your shoulders, your chest, your hips, your knees, and your feet. The top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Just feel your body clearing out, the cares of the day, just relaxing and moving aside. And you taking this time for yourself and to boost yourself up, right? So now imagine Fallon has his citrine, he's citrine Lemurian quartz, so there's a faint gold cast to him. Imagine rotating outside your body, starting at your feet, and as he moves up your outside of your body, hello Nicole, thanks for joining us, moves up your body, just feel your body filled with healthy, positive energy. So up from your feet, past your knees, your hips, your chest, your shoulders, your face, and the top of your head, crown chakra. Crown chakra is usually wide open when I'm working with Fallon with clients, and I know people can experience it live on the video or even in the video replays. So today I want to share with you a topic that took me a long time to get a handle on, and it's why I'm so passionate about teaching it and working with it with my clients, and that's our energy boundaries. Most of us don't realize that we have energy boundaries, or if we do, what they're for, or how to create a good relationship with them. So our energy boundary is really an etheric field. So we have our physical bodies, right? You can see mine here. If I could see you, I'd see your physical body. But we also are encased in an etheric, if you would like to call it that way, an invisible body that's also real and alive. Hi, Pride. Thank you for joining us. And our energy body is real. It's alive. Its job is to be our own personal security force. So its job is very important. It's just that we don't realize that it's alive and that it's been there our whole life to protect us and to nurture us and to help us be our best selves. So we don't work with it like we could. And I'll talk at the end of this broadcast. I'll tell you about an upcoming series of webinars I have. I've taught this at medical universities. I've taught this in groups in corporate businesses, in personal business, personal small groups, because it's just a concept we don't really think about that often. So imagine you have this invisible security force surrounding you, and it's your energy field. What's its job? Its job is to filter things. So its job is to help you reach out and explore the world around you. And as you do that, other beings like your dog or cat or your family members or friends or even people on the street are consciously or not coming into our energy field. That's how we experience each other. And sometimes I think that's why people say mistakenly that we are all one, because they're talking about, energy being everywhere. But our energy is our own body and our own energy field. So we reach out to explore the world. We also reach out to pull things to us, good experiences, good jobs, friends and family, whatever it is. So our energy boundaries work both ways, to protect and defend us and to bring good things to us. In other words, a really healthy energy body is how we become our best selves and how we bring mind, body, and spirit together to really boost ourselves. And I know you all know, you're here, that, this is a spiritual, metaphysical community. So you know we're all here to grow our souls, where our energy boundaries are part of that reason why we do that. It's just that we forget how they work. So you have, maybe experienced going into crowds and feeling overwhelmed by crowds, or you're sensitive and you label yourself as an energy sensitive, or you have a lot of physical issues that relate to sensitivity, and that's increasingly common in our busy world. Or you're experiencing feelings that aren't yours, right? And that's all because your energy boundaries are a little bit too porous, and you just need to learn how yours work for you. And in fact, frequently, as we go through this material in workshops, people will be startled because their energy boundaries will speak up and tell you what their name is, which is pretty awesome, right? So I want to tell you a story about how important our energy boundaries is, how important it is. And this happened literally back in the late fall of 2004. And I had been working with other beings, non-humans, weather and land systems, animals, whatever. My intuition and healing abilities, just like yours, were opening up at the time, and I was exploring the world around me. One of the things I didn't have a good handle on, obviously, was what energy boundaries were. We weren't really talking about that back then. But at the moment, back in 2004, I had taken a friend to, and I live in Seattle, Washington, to our regional trauma center, Harborview Medical Center. Now, Harborview is a place where we take all the huge traumas in the entire region, airlifted to Harborview. And if you're at Harborview, it's one of the leading trauma centers in the world. So this is a very big deal to be at Harborview. It's also a county hospital. So a lot of people who can't pay or don't have insurance will go to Harborview for treatment, but certainly the really badly injured ones. So I was there with a friend who had a shattered arm and needed surgery, and we were taken back into the ER area, and this person was being treated, and it was very, very painful for her. It was painful for me, seeing someone suffering. But I noticed something when I walked into Harborview, and I had not been into Harborview Hospital in many years. I felt like I had just been plugged into something, like a gigantic battery, and I was being drained, and I was shocked. I was like, what is this? And I don't normally feel energy these days. I was still feeling it then because I was still experimenting working with weather and land systems. And I'll talk about that at another time. But those are very large systems, and our human bodies can't really energetically deal with them. So my feeling of energy as a thing kind of shut down after that, just to protect me. But when you're dealing, when I was there and I was feeling plugged in, I literally felt like there was an electric current going through me, and it started in my hands and it ran down my body and out my feet. And I was like, holy Moses, what is this? And I'm looking at my hands in shock because I could just feel this. And I was very clear that the energy in my body was being drained. And I was like, okay, I don't know what this is. So my friend was back in the ER treatment room, and I was there, and we were there for the entire day. And at one point in that day, I was just, overwhelmed with her suffering. And I stepped out of the room to just get a break, and the nurses came out and followed me out into the hallway. And they stood there and they looked at me and they said, "We're very sorry for your friend. We're sorry that she's suffering so much, but we're curious." And I'm looking at him, I'm like, okay, what? She goes, "Well, we want to know what department of the hospital you work in." And I looked at him and I was like, "I don't work in this hospital." And they go, "Sure you do." She goes, "Every time we have a big emergency here at Harborview, you walk into the ER. Everybody sees you. Everybody knows you. We recognize you. You never talk to anybody, though. You just walk in, walk in the middle of a trauma. You walk in, you walk around all the rooms, and then you go into a room and you don't come out for a while. And when the emergency calms down, we always go in there to find you, and you're never there." So you can imagine, you're like, oh my God, this is freaking me out. Like, what's wrong with these people? And at first I thought they were teasing me for some reason I couldn't even make out. And I said, "I'm sorry, I haven't been in this hospital in 15 years. And they looked at me like, "Yeah, sure, right." And the one nurse looked at me and she said, "Well, you're here all the time. You don't have to tell us what department you work in. That's fine. But you did get new glasses." And that's when it hit me, because I did have new glasses. The month before, I'd purchased new glasses. And I was really shocked at that, because it was, oh my gosh, what has been going on that I didn't know about? And so, here's kind of the moral of the story. At the time, I had a lot of health issues, chronic immune system issues. I was sick all the time. I was unable to work. I essentially lost everything I had. Not just my finances, but my self-confidence. And I was struggling to get back to a healthy way of living, and I wasn't getting there. And I realized what had happened was that I had been energetically astral traveling to this hospital during emergencies. And the more I worked with that, and the more I worked with my spiritual team and started talking to other people about their experiences, the more I started to realize, the truth of the world as we really live it. And that's that everything is alive. Everything is out there, trying to live and trying to do its work in the world. And our natural thing to do when we're trying to do our work is to reach out for other help. So imagine, here's our leading trauma center in the entire Pacific Northwest of the United States, considered the #1 trauma center in the world, right? And it's alive, because everything is alive. It has a soul, it has consciousness, it has feelings, it has a job to do, and it has opinions about that. And what's it doing? It's literally calling for energy to help support the patients and the caretakers inside its building. It's literally pulling energy. And those of us who are energy sensitives, or whose intuition runs a lot towards feeling, they're going to be drained the quickest, because their energy boundaries are porous, they're wide open, and they're just, we want to help, right? And we don't even know we're helping. But I was being drained by this hospital. I recognized it when I walked in there, when I felt like I'd been plugged into this giant battery. But when those nurses confronted me and insisted that they saw me all the time during an emergency and that I had new glasses, I realized, oh my God, I'm not just astral traveling. They actually see me. And maybe this is why I'm not getting healthy. And so I went home and I sat down and I worked with my spiritual team. And I said, okay, this has got to stop. I can't be drained by other things. We need to put a boundary around me, and we need everything to be cut off. So you cut the energy ties to the hospital and to everything else. You contain yourself within your energy field, and you say, I can only be used or worked with or tapped if I'm asked permission, consciously know it, and agree to it and set a time limit on it. And that's the day that I started getting well. So I wanted to share the story with you as my last broadcast of the year, but also to give you an idea of what it's like to have energy boundaries that aren't functioning properly for you, and what it's like when they do, because that's when I started getting healthy. That's when I started to regain my health. And that's why I've been able to work all these years and continue to make my contribution to the world and help other people make theirs, because I learned how energy boundaries work. And that's why I'm so passionate about teaching them to people, because we don't realize it. And a lot of the people who come to me, and I've taught at the local medical university, Bastyr University here, which is a leading naturopathic college, a lot of people who work in the helping professions, the healthcare field, for example, but any business you work in. Imagine going to the grocery store, going to buy Christmas presents, or traveling during the holiday season, or whatever you're doing. You are always in contact with other people. And none of us really understand that we have this additional body of protection around us that we aren't taking care of because we don't know about it. But we also don't know how to tap its ability to help us. So that's why I teach this subject. So, and that's why this winter I am going to teach a multi-series webinar, and I'd like for people to sign up in the beginning and carry it all the way through, because we're going to do two things. One is I'm going to teach you how to use your intuition in a very natural way, so that it is just as easy to you as anything else you do during the day, as easy for you to tap as any of your other abilities of seeing, hearing, feeling, whatever, so that it becomes a way of life, and you really experience the great joy and the greater connection and the greater improvement in your daily life by learning to use your intuition. Along with that would be using your natural healing abilities, and in particular, learning to use and work with your energy boundaries so that you can get healthy and stay healthy. And really, the world needs you. The world needs the contribution that you're going to make to it. And you know, as a member of the Om Times community, this great spiritual and metaphysical community, how important it is for you to be able to be your best self at home, at work, having fun, and dealing with life's difficulties. So I will have more information on that in a few weeks, and I'll be offering that late January. I have another thing, webinar thing, that I'd like to share with you. But first I want to go and explore with you very briefly the crystal of the week, which is called Black Obsidian. And Black Obsidian is actually not a crystal. Black Obsidian is volcanic glass. So imagine glass that's just black, right, and shiny like glass can be. And black obsidian is formed during a volcanic explosion. So what does it do? It obviously, it's very quick and powerful, so it can create the ability for you to heal very quickly. But it's so powerful that it's not something that most people would recommend that you keep close to you on a daily basis or even in the same room. It would be one of those crystals that I'd put off to the side and say, hey, thank you. I'm glad you're part of the family. We'll call you when I need you. Because it can depress us or overwhelm us if we spend too much time together with it. but it's also really great for healing trauma. And that's why I wanted to just bring it to your attention today as something that you could explore for healing trauma, for looking to reinforce your energy boundaries, and also for grounding and protection. It's one that I would use infrequently, but consider being part of your crystal family if that sounds like a good fit for you. So you can explore it in a variety of ways, or with the person who's joining me this afternoon. And that's what I wanted to tell you about very quickly is this afternoon at 5 Pacific time, I am offering a webinar at the Experts platform, at the Learn It Live platform. I'll tell you how to get there in a moment, and I think it's been posted here in the comments. It's called Exploring Your Intuitive Partners. And we'll talk about the mindset of being equal with all life and really what that means in being our best selves, mind, body, and spirit, but also tips on how you can call your intuitive partners to you and work with them so that you can continue to grow in your business, grow in your personal life, have a lot of fun, and then have something to call on in a crisis. So our intuitive partners can be, animal totems, certainly tarot and astrology, and our cars, our desks, our homes, our businesses. They're all alive. They can all support us. Just like that story of Harborview Hospital wasn't being evil. It was simply doing its job of pulling energy so that it could help people. So, but also we're going to talk about crystals. And joining me will be Kim Valines of Earthlight Rocks and Gems in Kirkland, Washington. She sponsors my radio show, but she also offers really healthy crystals at good prices. And you can find her at earthlightgems.com. But she's going to be joining us in the webinar to talk about certain crystals that you can use going into the new year, but also just in creating this intuitive partnership with the crystal to boost yourself in the areas that you're weak in and to put you over the top in areas that you're really great at. So please consider joining us. The webinar is $15. I have a few discount codes available, for a few, 2 or 3 discount codes, I think, or spots for discounts, like, 10 or 15% off. At any rate, it will be in the archives, but if you join us live, you can experiment with your crystal partners or some other partner that you choose to bring. Hi, Larissa. Yay, awesome. Glad to see you. So the webinar is going to be fun. All the webinars are fun, packed full of information and packed with information that will help you really appreciate how important you are to the world, how your being your best self, mind, body, and spirit is making a contribution to our conscious evolving planet. So I would like to thank you for joining me today. And in particular, thank you for joining me these last 6 months as I launched my radio show and learned how to do Facebook Live and learned how to do webinars. And I'm here to support you. My goal is to help you be your best self by offering you that dispassionate, objective, outsider perspective, as well as my training as an intuitive and spiritual consultant. So if you're interested in my services, please check out my website and you can contact me there, robynfritz.com, ROBYNFRITZ.com. Or please connect with me on Facebook at The Practical Intuitive. If you enjoy these Facebook Live presentations, please like the Om Times Institute page, the Om Times Magazine page, and please, please, please go to my Facebook page, The Practical Intuitive, and like it. It helps me be more accessible to you, and I welcome friend requests. Thank you so much. Pride Day, awesome. Welcome friend requests at my personal page, Robin M. Fritz. And for all of you today, thank you, Larissa. For all of you today, I wish you a holy season. We are coming up on solstice. We're coming up on Christmas. We're in the midst of a number of other holidays. But it's the end of the year, and it's a time for us to reflect on what worked for us this year, what didn't, what we'd like to do next year. And we're all in it together, right? So thank you for joining me. I feel very blessed to be a member of this community. If you have any questions and you're interested, again, at my website, I offer personal and business intuition, mediumship, animal communication, space clearing, past life and between life regressions, soul progression clearing, and energy healing. For my services, intuitive services and soul progression clearing are hour-long sessions. I'm offering a special through the end of the year, $45 off, so $100 a session. But really, I just wish you the best and the most fun that you can have in the remaining part of the year, and we'll join in the new year together. We will grow and be even better in the new year because we're a community. So thank you again for joining us. Let's close out with the energy healing technique I learned from a goddess, it surprised me too. Hands on your heart and just feel energy pouring into the palms of your hands. Breathe into the palms so you can feel that air. And then hold it out to the world and send it wherever it wants to go. Energy is sentient. It is alive. It knows what it's doing better than we know what it's doing. Hands on your heart. Let that energy just flow into the palms of your hands. Blow into the palms so you can feel air on your palms, reminding you of that energy. And then palms on your heart again, bringing that energy back into your own body, back into your collective mind, body, and spirit, and grounding you back into your body, closing out that crown chakra that's wide open and connecting with Fallon. Thank you very much for joining me, for joining the other Om Times experts, for supporting the Om Times community, and we will see you in the new year. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.